let's take this girl and put it in a cave and let her lie in a beam of light coming down. And this is how we did that. Whoosh. By the use of Photoshop's new AI generative tool and some other tools. So I'm gonna dive into something I have not tried before. I'm gonna try to do the AI generative fill, and I have some shots here and I have to make a choice. There's this series I've done here which I think has potential, and I want to find out if I can make I mean, these photos are like all by themselves. They're rather abstract, they're rather experimental. This one is like a monster, and this is just a little bit plain silly. This is very innocent, and this is very beautiful in the hair, and that's a bit submissive, and that's very strong in this sort of like composition and so on. So anyway, I'm gonna completely change the background, do some wild stuff, and I don't have any idea if I will succeed because I basically just started up as a newbie in the latest Photoshop, which has this generative fill thing. So I'll be looking at that. But let's make a choice. There's the innocent. Where is she sitting? She would be sitting somewhere else, obviously. Where is she lying? She'd be lying somewhere else. We need to find out a story, something. I actually think this one is good for sort of lying in the middle of the forest. So let's open this in Photoshop and see what is all this about. I will first flip it around. I will turn it here and say okay. So she is, and let's move me somewhere else so I can see what I'm doing. Let's make another copy of the background. I usually do that as a standard thing. And then I will start by just putting her a little bit more straight, so she's be lying there in the middle of what? The forest? The forest? Is that good? It's not bad. She looks like it's almost natural. The way the hair, it is natural the way the hair is flowing, but it's almost organic, like flowers or whatever. So let's see if we can that looks okay, good. And then we will enlarge the canvas. This is actually as you can see here, it's not very high resolution. It's basically an old photo. I think it's 10-15 years ago, but it doesn't matter. Let's see if we can get out of it, because I'm just gonna put it up to let's say that I want to make it 8,000 times what? 500? Just want to see. Now that's too. She's lying there in the forest, and I'm gonna make the aspect ratio like 3 times 2. So let's crop it, and she'll be lying there in the forest, which is not there, so you have to imagine there is a forest thing around her, something. I think this is not bad. So okay, so let's see, where is the room for me? I can be up here. No, I will. No. I'm still distracting myself. Okay. Anyway, so And let's put the resolution right, because now we're sort of like we started to. I'm doing some upscaling here a bit, and I think that's fine. I'll put it to be that this is gonna be. Just want to see how it renders the details. I actually don't know if maybe be a little bit less than that. So let's try 6,000 times 4,000. Okay, so we just go with that. That's fine. And now we will. I think I'll flatten it, and then I will. I don't know how AI is gonna, if the AI will detect this where the photo is. So I'm just gonna feather that out. I'm gonna put it to that there is a fade out to the so. Let's see what happens here. I'm basically trying to oh, that looks really weird. What on earth did I just do? I press Control Z to go back. I think I made it that this was I tried to delete it again, and then I don't choose content aware. I just choose that it's the background color. That's fine, which I've set to some. That's fine. So, and now I will. I don't know if this is strictly necessary, but I'm just trying to make it so that AI do not pay attention to what it don't need to pay attention to. So this is my idea about what is gonna be left of the old photo, and then the AI is gonna fix this. Haha. So she's lying there in the forest. So let's make this forest. Let's see if I can do that. So I will make a copy, my usual thing, and then I will select everything around, and I'll make it a little bit soft, the thing. So I'll, what was that? I want to make a feather first by 50, and then I will select inverse, and then I would, how do I activate this fill here? Generative fill, I think this is the one. What would you like to generate? Beautiful forest. I have no idea what's going to happen now, but let's see. Beautiful forest. Go. So it's like, what happens? This is lying in the mid-air. It doesn't look right at all. So apparently it has done some other additions. Let's see the next one. That's great. Okay, so let's just put it like this. The first attempt was absolutely flawed. Okay. So I have to ask it to do something else, I guess. So I will go back here and then say generative fill, and then I'll say, what if I put her inside a cave? That will be in, somehow it doesn't align with the hair and so on. It doesn't really understand. It just places it in the middle. What if I do this thing that I select some of her hair and some of the body, like, just like, okay, so now it needs to talk to that part of the photo which sort of indicates that it's got to cooperate. AI has to sort of like find a way to make this fit in. Okay, so I say feather by only 15. So this is a close thing now. And then I select the inverse, and then I say, okay, so I put this generative fill, and I said, what about if this is inside a cave, the girl lying on a big stone. Can we do that, please? My hopes are not very high for this generative AI right now. It seems a little bit sort of like not really understanding anything. But I might not have just, okay, okay, so that was considerably improved, and it had also had another suggestion. I think the first one looked more natural, and somehow, and it made a mask here. Does this mean that I can delete some of the mask and it will, or is the mask all the way up to? Yes, I can put her back in there. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. So there's the hair. We need the hair to go in total. Okay, but so now I'm getting ideas because I can see that this could actually work. Of course, I'm not integrating with the background yet. It's not completely working, but it's puzzle pieces and it seems like it could get to work. It's not bad. Alright, so what's the story here? Now she's lighter than the background, so we can make it blend. Let's do something. I just want to see. I'll make a copy of her. And I put her on top. And I just want to see something. And then I want to choose blending options, and then I want to go with lighten, and then I want to actually here in the rim I want to see if I can get the background closer to it. You see the lighting, making the hair choose the lighting be lighter means that I can get it to integrate more natural. I don't know if this makes sense, but let me just try to see if it works first before I explain what I just done. Okay. So here, my mask. What I'm trying to do is the points of integration is obviously where the elbows are and the hair, especially the hair. So it's whether or not we can make that look really natural. And the blending by light, what is lighter means that because her hair is lighter, it sort of superposes by this filter automatically on top of the darker stone. So that's the my little trick on trying to get these things to become like this is really natural. So where are we falling short? This section down here looks really nice now, and the hair looks sort of like coming down here quite nicely. It's not completely fine over here, and the shoulder is now a little bit gone. So let's just, where's the shoulder? Huh? Use the mask, and then I put the shoulder back. Okay, I use this thing here to see, okay, so I have her in 2 layers. She's active in 2 layers, meaning that I am using that is wrong. So elbows looks a bit weird. The hair looks acceptable. Here there's some weird, but this area here looks very nice. Something at the back of her hair, which I don't quite understand. Where does that come from? What on earth is that? Okay. So, let's see. When you have all these layers here and they're sort of like mixed together, I'm just now trying to find out where does these weird things on the stone come from, and the only place I can see them I seem to have lost the picture. Fit on screen. Why is that so difficult? Anyway, the weird markings on the stone seems to be here. So I will remove that here in this layer, because it seems to be that this is can I not? Oh, I have to select the mask, obviously. So I'm removing that now. Oh, I removed a little bit too. I do not want to remove the last bit of it here. And I want to fix it up, so... And this I also need, so... And then I bring in this. Oh, still. So I take all this in the middle out. I don't know if what I say make a lot of sense, but it's also a matter of trying to find out what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So there is some mumbling here where I'm not probably very interesting to listen to, but I'm basically trying to find out how does this tool work. And I have now, this is what I want of the layer created by AI. Okay, so now I'm bringing in the original background, and then I'm bringing in what's this? It's also original background, so there's not much difference, it's just my extra layer. Then there's my top layer, which is a repair layer, trying to repair the errors we now see. So it makes the hair come out much more beautiful. I just want to go back to the original because I have a question about this area here. Looks like that. Sort of goes down and it disappears. Okay, so we need to paint that in. It's there. And it goes down to there. And could it be darker under the stone? So there's a shoulder here. It doesn't look completely right the way it integrates. That's the shoulder, how it should look. Okay. I'm gonna nip a little bit of the shoulder here, if I can. It seems like AI has that's too much. Okay. It seems like it's difficult to get them to blend in this area here. And the elbow still looks weird. Okay. So here there's some hair missing. No. So here we are. The hair went in. That's good. And no. I don't know exactly what these where these strange elbows come from. What are these markings on the elbow? Where do they come from? Oh, it's basically because it doesn't repair correctly. Okay, good. So I'm gonna take this background, which I'm not really used to anything, and I'm gonna put it up here and gonna make it into a mask. Go back, and then I will use that to fix the errors. Here we are. This is the original photo, so that is the ultimate brush. It will just put in the original photo completely unaltered. So here I will fix all the weirdities of my editing and AI and so on. I'll just make it perfect because this is the ultimate layer because it's simply reality. And I can go, see, okay, so the shoulder is actually here. And she's lying in sort of a hole in the rock. Or what is that? What if I make it less hard? Can I then make it into a shadowy thing? So it almost looks like a shadow. Is that possible? It is approaching a shadow. completely, but you can then add more shadow to make it look more real. So then there's this oddity down here where it turns this weird color of the background, but I'll get to that. Okay, so now we are like here. Something odd about her shoulder over here is discolored. So a small brush, and I paint in some more realness. What's this? Is that the correct one? It is. No. It's the wrong brush. I'll have to do the other thing. I can't figure out. This is the right one. And here comes the shoulder. Very nice. Soft and round. Okay, and here it goes right again. Okay. The reason why we can't see them is that I managed to get a background which is sort of the same as my original photos, so they blend very well. So I'm just gonna go like that, but that is, so that's nice. And then there's this. What's this? This is the, well, that's a little bit of her, but we don't really need that. So I'm gonna what did I do wrong? Here we are again. What's this white thing going up? It looks a bit weird. This and the shoulder should be sharp, so we're gonna increase the harshness of it and make the shoulder go sharp, more sharp. Like here, totally sharp. Good. Okay. And there's this white thing going up here. It's supposed to, I think it's AI trying to create some hair. I don't think it's part of the original. No, it's not. The hair looks actually a bit different. Let's see if we can paint some hair in here. Where's the original hair? Let's see if we can get it in. That's the original hair. It goes like that. Okay. So it goes like that. Okay. So I will use this brush instead. That's the lightening brush, and then it should come in on top of the layer, integrating. There's this hair which is falling over the edge. Okay, it looks acceptable. So most of her hair is now in. There is still areas where it looks a bit funny, but I have this plan that I will now bring in the weapon against all this. I will now bring in shade. What you can hide in the shade. Okay. So we will hide something in the shade, definitely. We'll start by making... she's lying there. Let's do the story now. She's lying there. Why is she lying there? Because this is the only place where there's really light. Yeah? So, we will now turn the light off. Maybe not completely off. Oh. Let's go back. Like here. And then we will make a beam from above. She's lying there because this is where there is light. Let's see the light. Turn on the light here. The light is coming in from above. That's a nice story. So it makes it more like, that's the reason why she's lying in this hot place, is because there's light. Good. But there is more shade. Now we will play with the shade. Oh, that's too harsh. So I will choose a brush like this. And I'll start to sort of like, where is the shade? There's more shade under here. Lots more shade. And what I'm doing now is I'm hiding the things, and this is doesn't look right, because now we are telling the story of the light. We can see the lights coming in here, so we have to sort of like make it support that story. I'm gonna choose a less size brush, something like that. Shade comes in there is some shade which is just dark general, and then the shade, the closer you get to the object, needs to be thinner. And it could actually be completely dark there. For that I need another brush, but first I need to be sure that the light is coming in from above, so this area should not be in this. Okay, let's tell the story a little bit more. Let's take curves here, and we're only looking at her face, because now we're gonna turn on the light for real. So there is sunshine, almost sunshine coming in here, but it's a beam. It's a beam coming in, right? It's a beam. So let's make it a beam. It's coming from above. It's a beam. That's too broad. Too small. I'm gonna write it 1500. That sounds good. Okay, so here we come. This is the beam. And she seems like she's almost enjoying life in the cave, because there's this beam of light coming in. I like that. And we're getting to a story. It's telling a story. It's good. Now, I'm gonna put some more shade in there. So I'm gonna go here. What I've basically done is I made a brush which has this strong shade. See how it works. I want some shade there. Doesn't look completely right. Shade there. More shade down here. On the other side of the rock. On the foot of the rock should be more shade. And there should be some really dark shade really towards the rock, so something down there that should be very dark. It's almost impossible to see what happens here in this shade. Okay, that's good. There's always some areas where for something to look natural, there is a certain amount of imperfection, and there's a certain amount of luck, because if you're out shooting this model doing just this, then you could be sure that there would be some odd things happening it wouldn't look completely perfect, and that's part of it. It's like it wouldn't look completely perfect. So we're getting to this point now. Why is it not looking right? What of the story is being told wrong? Could it be the color of the light? Oh. Let's take the color balance for the whole picture and see if there is another story which... So it's very warm. It's more cold, is it not? It's cold around her. It makes the light more cold. I think it should be cold, like this. The cave becomes more magical. But let's make the light on... So the cave is that. But let's... on her, there is this warmth, right? Because she's lying, and we want to get back to the story. She's lying in the warmth. So the cave itself is blue and cold. She's in the warmth. That's a little bit too much warmth, but let's fade that. See how it works. Too much. Here. Does that tell the story? Do you believe that? Let's see if we can make the beam of light even more warm. So now I'm just going for the beam. The beam is, and I'm looking at the background. I'm looking at the cave. There, I'm looking over here, and I'm looking. What is that? Is it possible to make this entrance point like almost like godly? Like it's coming in. Oh, that's too much. Far too much. But it's coming up there, and it should be warmer. It should be like life almost coming in that. So I'm gonna, and I'm only looking at the background up here. I'm looking at that to see if that had no effect on it at all. Did not work. So let's try again the tool we had. Usually when one tool doesn't work, I just change it. I mean, let's see if we can is there any white, any yellow in this? There is yellow in the background, so we can, and there. That's really warm. So we're gonna cast a little bit of that on the back of the cave to make it sort of like this is a warm story. That's not right. What if it comes all the way down? Okay, so what if we fade it out by going, where is that? Blending options. We turn it down on just a notch here. The sun is hitting her and the background. Like that. Alright. Just lying there. There's warmth coming in. Maybe there's some warmth on the floor. Maybe it's a broader. Yeah, because that takes the beam becomes more real. Something goes on the floor. Maybe not that much, but a bit like that. Yeah. Okay, so now we got the beam, we got the girl, we got the cold stone. She's feeling some warmth. What about her? Okay, so I want to see where is the main editing layer of her. Her hands comes there and her face comes in there. So this combined, so this is a bit messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain all these layers, but I'm actually I'm gonna say, okay, I want them, I want these layers merged. I say Control Alt copy. I go back in history before the merge. I put it on top, and that's the layer where now I have a layer which is sort of like a merged layer of all my those 4 layers now. So this is my new master. But if I've done something wrong, I can always go back in the layers. But let's go and have a look at her. Oh, she's very far away. 100%. And let's go up and have a look at her. Let's go even closer. Her skin looks sort of natural, that's fine. I don't know. Should she have rings? She looks a little bit sort of like, for somebody living in a cage, why does she have rings? Should we try to see if there is this interesting new tool called the Remove tool. Where is it now? Here. Remove tool. And sometimes I've very successfully removed something, but let's just see if it can just do it, like in one go. Like, okay, so we select the ring and say, and hope. Can AI help us? That was easy. Let's try the other ring. Oh, scary. That was really easy. So we clean up a little bit here. There's some red down here. I don't want that. So let's see if AI can help us. Yes, AI helped. I think this line is a little bit too much. Well, AI didn't understand that. What do you mean line? So sometimes it's just, if that didn't work, who cares? Well, I have to handle that in a different way. But let's just see if there is places where this tool is needed and it can help us. There is some dirt down here. Dirt is fine in a cave, but it has to look right. This doesn't look like right dirt. It looks like dirt from cloth. So we remove that because it's the wrong kind of dirt. This also looks a bit odd. What's that? Weird insect of some sort. This could maybe be dirt or background. This also looks a bit weird. Anything else? Off? Don't know. Maybe it looks okay. Rock looks like a rock, but it looks a little bit sort of like there's some artifacts there, which seems like this is digitally produced, but I guess I can make it go away and it looks a little bit better. You don't actually know what AI is doing. I don't think AI knows what it's doing itself, but it's just a matter of, does it look right? And you have to sort of like use your eyes and say, okay, does this look like it's right? And then you have to take a decision, and this remove tool is odd because it's sometimes you go look at it and you go, okay, maybe that's too clean a cut, but if a stone breaks, it could do, maybe it could, this looks too jagged. Do something else. Yeah, and then this also looks a little bit weird, so maybe I do that. See, did that help? Not really, but what about that? What about this? And of course, sometimes nature is just a bit weird, so now she's looking more natural. Her eyelashes is a little bit like, okay, she's got fake eyelashes on or something. Can I do like this? What will happen then? Oh, I closed her eyes. That didn't work. I take a little bit of it. Looks more natural. Okay, so I'll make it thinner. I'll just try to go a little bit on the edges of the eyelashes just to make her like she looks more natural. Did that help? Maybe a bit. I think they're too long. And maybe too well kept. So she can still be beautiful, but I want this little bit more raw look, so she wouldn't have these very nice eyelashes, would she? No, that wasn't so much of that. Yeah. So there's a pretty girl lying there, and she doesn't really have any makeup on. That's good. Her hair is gorgeous. She's looking up at this. There is some pattern there. AI has not made its job correctly. This pattern looks really weird. So we hope our remove tool can get the gist that we do not believe that looks correct. So I want a big brush. I'll just go, let's see what happens. Does it remove the pattern? Yes, it does. It understands we didn't like the pattern. But I don't want to remove the structure, so I remove it in sections where it's so if I just want to, what I said here, if I select too much, I think it will probably destroy a little bit of the story. See, now it's sort of like made it wrong. So when you use the remove tool, you have to sort of like move in small steps, like you think, oh, there's a little bit of pattern there. Let's see if you can make AI understand what is it you want removed, and it's just sort of like a feel thing. You have to sort of like do this a few times, and then you have something emerge which looks natural, and you just repeat it, and then you sort of like get to understand that Meta and others are trying to make software that can recognize these artifacts of artificial creation, and I'm like wondering if what would these software say to a sort of like picture which is like edited with AI software but with a human eye overseeing it and sort of like fixing those giveaways. So I think it will be more difficult for AI to spot AI at work if it's sort of like supervised by a human being, because these artifacts, which is like proof of wrong perspective and so on, they're sort of like I really don't like that one, so let's remove it. That looks okay. Too jagged. That's better. So you get, and this thing here, I don't like, but I don't think, can AI handle that? It did something, but it didn't look right. Let's try again. Let's try a different size. It doesn't look right. Let's make it better. Okay. It's doing something. It's a very powerful tool, but it doesn't, it's very much on how much do you select. Did that do something? So we don't want it to change the arm. We just want to make the shadow thing with the arm look right. Otherwise I have to use another tool to fix that. Because this still doesn't look like a shade that's out here. So what if I do this? Yeah, trying to make this, not including her arm, just trying to make the shade integrate and go deeper and more soft. That looks about right. That looks a bit weird. That looks also a bit harsh. This end looks a bit weird. So weird gets replaced by less weird, and then all of a sudden you get to a point where you think, oh, this is pretty cool. It looks like it is what it is, or it looks like reality. But I believe it. So now this is the ultimate test. You go, okay, so this is the picture. Would I believe it? It's a weird light, isn't it? It's a bit sort of like too bluish. Where did I do that? The color balance, was it down here? Yeah, that was the color balance. So I will take that and I will select the blending options and I'll make it less than 100% to see if there is a spot where it looks like this is the story. It looks right. I like the story about that it's cold. Huh, maybe it's the wrong kind of blue. Okay, so I will do a color adjustment for the whole picture. Let's see. I do a new adjustment layer and I do color balance. Let's try, and then not so blue. It should be cold but not unreal. That's unreal. It's more real. I'm only looking at the back. I'm not looking at her because she came out alright. Here. No, she's too warm. Right, but I will not have the effect run on her. I'll remove the effect on her. So I'll do like this. So now there's coldness around her and there's warmth on her from the sun, the beam. That looks unreal, that looks better, that actually looks real. So now, is there anything which is like a giveaway, like this is fake? The beam comes down, it hits her and it hits a little bit of the floor. Okay, there's a bit of darkness in the cave, that's good. She looks sort of comfortable on that stone. There is no shadow under the other shoulder. That looks odd. This shoulder over here looks fine. This shoulder looks odd. There's no, and this line here, that's a very sharp line, looks wrong. So how do I fix that? So I'm gonna, this line here I really don't like, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go to Liquefy. Liquefy is a weird tool, but I think it can help us here. So I'm gonna go, this is my primary editing layer. You see 40% to that. Here, that's good. So now I have the brush size a little bit down to, I think, let's try 80. Yeah, let's push it a bit around. So the shoulder is now fixed. There's a little bit of something sticking out. Let's set the brush to 45 and aim it on top of that thing and just push it in a bit. Push it out a little bit. The shoulder looks fine now. Okay, good. And then I need a little bit of shade under her shoulder, just like on the right side. It looked completely right on that side. So where did that come from, that shade? Was it this one? Yes, I think it was. So let's see if I can put a little bit under her there too. What brush size am I using? Okay. So first I'm gonna be a little bit rough. I'm gonna put it in under her, and then I'm gonna liberate her from it again. Like, okay, I'm gonna put it like that. Her hair is gonna go free of this shade. So a shade would be much darker where her shoulder is actually going onto the stone. So I need to have a brush where that is made. So I'm just gonna make probably that nuance good. So now I've made a layer which is gonna help me put that dark shade, which will be right where the shoulder touches the stone. So right there, it'll be very dark. And I'm gonna free her shoulder. So, oh, that was too close. Go back there. Hit it right, wrong. So it's near the stone. That looks okay. Should it be even darker? I don't know if I have it. I can make it a little bit darker there. So actually it goes pitch black. That looks alright. Okay. Alright. So now look again, look again, look again, look again, look again. Anything looking weird? You see, the more errors you fix, the more you can see stuff which is not right. So I see this patch now. I'll make a hard brush, and I should be able to remove it because it is one of these brushes which I've just been working on, is this one here. So that's an error. I put it in here straight. Good. And let's see it in. This line looks a bit weird. That's annoying because that's difficult to handle, but I guess I have to do something, at least try. So I make a copy of our master editing layer, and then I take my Liquefy tool, and then I bump it up to a size. That's too much. Something like that. And I just remove this in. Okay. And say okay. So now I've moved in I make this into a layer, and I delete the arm. I wanted to get back to the right point, so I'm just going like, okay, so where was this arm? The arm was here. Good. And then I have to go super close. And then I have to put it back in there. A bit too close there. Chick, 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 chick. At some point you get the idea that maybe you should just find the cave and take the girl and so on, but this is still cheaper because you could actually use a lot of time on this, right? So obviously this is less time consuming than going somewhere and find a cave. Jag säljer en video. So what happens here is now we have moved it in, and I sort of like check, is it looking better or worse, or did it do something good? I'm not 100% sure it did. So I'm getting to have the thought that maybe something, maybe the error is out here. This line is a bit, so maybe I'm sort of like half satisfied. So I'm gonna go like, okay, I'm gonna delete some of it and end up with something in between. Oh, wrong tool. I press cancel. Let's see, it's this one I want. So I have let me see what happens if I delete it. have to delete it, so I have to use the right tool. So where is this thing? Lost my focus now. What am I doing? Let's just go back. I think I lost the... I did something wrong. Oh man, I did something wrong. I just used my history incorrectly, and I was distracted, and then so let's just have a look here. Oops, a little bit too close. Something like here, and then we go and we take this thing here and put it under her arm. I mean, you can't see I'm putting it under her arm, but that's what I intend to do. So I've done that now, and I press a little bit closer, and then I delete the... I want to see where was the arm. The arm was there. Good. I want to take a little bit more, so I can make it sort of like a soft. Is that better? Is that somehow better? Did I do anything better? Let's see if this thing did anything. That was a complete waste of time, I guess. So I removed something out there a little bit. Sometimes you waste the time. I actually don't think I did any good there. I don't like this completely. This little area here. But if you just looked at it like you never seen this before, would you then notice that? I guess that's the question. So I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna... I think I will actually say, okay, this is it. So let's, and summarize, have a look at this. I mean, we went from... This is the final story. So I should probably put this in the front of the video. So what is this, what you can expect? Before I do any such thing, I would save it. Good. I would save it, and then I would say, let's go all the way back to when we started. Push. Like here. So we started like here. So I'm making out the sort of like, what is this video gonna be like? It's like, so you want let's take this girl and put it in a cave and let her lie in a beam of light coming down, and this is how we did that. Whoosh. By the use of Photoshop's new AI generative tool and some other tools. And this is the result. This is my first time playing around with the AI generative tool. So I don't think this was completely hopeless. I think it's very much like playing around with it and trying to make it look real. and then at some point say, okay, now it actually looks real. But let's just be very to the point on one thing: AI is not there yet. It's a tool. It helped me with a cave and made it possible for me to tell a story. I still had to walk a mile myself, but it did help me on the way. Okay? So I can recommend the tool. You should try it out, and with some patience. I have no idea how much time I've been using on this so far, but have I used an hour or so? 45 minutes? Something like that. But to find a location like that would take much longer time. So let me know in the comments if you think I did okay, if it was any good, or is this a complete giveaway? You know, sometimes when you've just done something, you think, oh, that's pretty good. And then a few days after, you think, oh, what a piece of crap. But other times you go, oh, that was quite well. So I hope I'll be thinking that about it. Anyway, thanks for joining me on my adventure. I hope I wasn't too boring and so on. But this was not really a tutorial. This was like my thought process on unwrapping the generative layer in Photoshop. Alright, thanks for your company. I don't know who would watch such a video to the end unless it's some Photoshop nerd. Alright, so you must be a Photoshop nerd like me. Take care.